Hey guys, it's Glenn from Glenn'sCarCollection.com, and today we are driving the Mercedes SLS AMG. This is a 2012, so if you remember, the coupe has the gull-wing doors and has really risen in value the last couple years, and so has this convertible. So this is my first time driving the convertible version of this car. I drove the coupe version at an AMG racing school in Lime Rock, I think in 2014, when I bought my CLA 45 AMG new. Got that as a, I guess, a bonus. I think I picked like the high performance option for that car that gets away the top speed limiter, and I think what happens is you get that racing school. All right, so let's see. I'm going to keep it in comfort mode. I have the top up for you guys right now, but I'm going to go in manual mode for the shifting. It is a 7-speed auto, and the sound of this car is to die for. I got to be a little careful because we're on our last couple of grams of gas here. And but this car is a fun car. So let's take it, while we still have gas, let's take it on some twistings. Now this is a muscle car, it's not a sports car. So if like your favorite car is a Miata or S2000, this is not that. This is just, in a way, I think on modern cars, the Germans do muscle cars better than the Americans do now, you know, Hellcats notwithstanding. But all right, so we're gonna start in first gear. Now this is 2012 technology as far as the trans goes. So look at that. So you got the shift lights here. It goes white, yellow, red. We're going to third. So it's not super responsive. It's certainly not bad. And I think it adds to the character. I mean, it's probably on par with the Aventador that I drove. Because the Aventador wasn't the best shifting transmission either, but it was a blast to drive. You know what? This is not the best shifting trans, but it is a fantastic blast to drive. This car moves. It's really fast. It's got 583 horsepower. And the best thing about this car is, you know, they weren't putting turbos on them back then. This is 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 motor. You feel the weight in the turns, obviously, and it's a little heavier than the coupe because of the convertible, but it sounds pretty amazing. Listen to this. So this car was backfiring. Listen, before cars were backfiring, right? And it really does an amazing job going around these turns. Wow, is that good? Just the acceleration. And this car gets a lot of stares. A couple people have already come up to talk to me off camera while I was setting up the cameras and driving around. So this is something that is going to get a lot of attention. Even going at slow speeds, we're keeping the RPM about 3,500 there, and it sounds phenomenal. I hope we have enough gas to get to the dealership. I could drive this car all day long. This is probably one of the most fun cars I've ever driven. It's for sale right now at DCH Acura in Verona, New Jersey. So definitely check them out, guys. They have new and used Acuras. And Tim, the general manager, always carries about 80 what I'll call Glenn's cars, whether they're sports cars or exotics. Everything from muscle cars to sports cars to exotic cars. All right, back to the video. This car is just amazing. So at any speed, at any RPM, this car is just great. Why is it great? Because it's a naturally aspirated V8. You guys, you just can't beat that. You know, those days are gone, these good sounding engines and everything is hands. This is real sound and you hear it. Now these cars come fully loaded. You have the top of the line stereo system here, and it is just a blast to drive. Now it does get a little stiff in the transmission settings. It actually downshifted me down to first there. So now I'm going to put it in sport mode. So now I can't, I think I can override the shifts, let's see. No, I can't. All right, so it's going to shift for me now. And the transmission actually does pretty well. So it reminds me, I had a CLA 45 AMG and a GLA 45 AMG, and it did a lot of, I always kept it in manual mode because I thought sport was a little too rough on that and comfort was a little too lackadaisical. But here it does a really, really good job. I would say excellent job shifting on its own. Now, because of gas mileage, I'm sure this doesn't get very good gas mileage. We're upshifting, so right now we're going 35 miles an hour, and it already has me up in 5th gear. Just an amazing drive, guys. If I had more gas, I would drive it longer, but this is a fantastic, fantastic car. All right, so we're gonna stop at the light here. So when we stop at the light, let's look at the interior. So obviously it's a 2012, so the navigation has 2012 written all over it. You're not buying this car for navigation. You don't need it. I use Waze on my phone, that's about it. Quality of the leather here is excellent. Mercedes does a fantastic job. Soft touch materials here. They do a fantastic job. I love these vents. I know some people don't like them. I actually like those. Climate control, everything's pretty easy to use here. The command system's not that great, so forget about that. To put the top up and down, we put it right here. I was driving with the top off just to set the route. Now I have the top up just because there is a lot of wind noise. Again, it's a 2012. You have everything you want here in your steering controls, whether Bluetooth or going through the menus. So everything right here at your fingertips. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in manual mode. You have your start stop here. You have your traction control, and you have your sport settings. AMG mode, think of that as the BMW like M button. So that's going to put us in a harder, stiffer setting, which I don't think you really need because the stiff setting is not that comfortable. So I think you still get very good handling and comfort. So I always typically do manual shift mode and just keep it in the comfort setting. Unless you're on the racetrack, you're like, oh, a 3 Series wagon, you're really not going to need that. All right, so let's go here. Visibility is okay. I wouldn't say it's great. Obviously, you put the top down, the visibility would be just fine. I get confused here with the stalk sometime. Wow, this is a fun car. Like, we're literally on empty. We're like on 0. So otherwise I would take those twisties again, but we got to get to a gas station. You get a little driveline noise here. Kind of reminds me of driving a Viper. And it kind of is. It's kind of like a modern Cobra, or I'll call it a luxury Viper is how I call these cars. Now it does downshift in the first, was a little harsh, which I'm surprised. I'm in manual, I'm not downshifting, it is. So we'll go back into the sport setting. Acceleration again is ridiculous. That's the car next to us, that's not me. But you really have one of the fastest cars on the road, and you won't see another one. So you go to Cars and Coffee, there's 90 million manual GT3s, right? If you show up with this, you're gonna be the only one with an SLS, whether it's a coupe or a convertible. Now there is a little dead spot on the throttle when you first accelerate. It kind of takes a second to respond, but you really do have that naturally aspirated engine, which makes it phenomenal. All right, guys, I wish I had more time with this car, but I don't. I'm pulling into the gas station now. Special thanks to DCH Acura in Verona, New Jersey for providing this car. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.